Well, we're talking with a gentleman by the name of Bud Billmyer.
Louis Billmyer is my real
Oh, okay. All right, Louis. But we'll call you Bud. Is that
yes,
all right?
everybody
Okay.
does.
Or Mr. Billmyer. And a very significant individual, not only in the history around here, but the history of our country. You're one of the last surviving from Pearl Harbor. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I joined the Navy when I got out of high school in 1940.
Okay.
And it's a story here a while back of how I happened to get in the Navy. A friend of mine and I was going to go to Seattle and get a job out there. We built our own trailer. We got out into the Dakotas, and it turned out that before we left school, it ended up that the Navy recruiter was there, and he was just letting us know that they might be interested, whoever
Right.
might be. So we didn't want to join it, but we was going to go to the West Coast. And we got out to the Dakotas, and as it turned out, his family, who lived there on the way to Seattle, we got there, and his mother, who lived here in Cresco, called
Okay.
and said the Navy called and interested if you'd be interested to come. So we couldn't decide if we should join the Navy or go on to Seattle.
Okay. But so you joined the Navy?
Well, now let me finish.
Oh, okay.
And this is very odd. For about 4 days, we could not decide if we should go on and to skip it. We didn't sign up to go. They just gave you the information. So as it turned out, I finally said, why don't we just flip a coin?
All right.
So we flipped the coin. Heads, we were going to go on to Seattle. Tails, we'll turn around, go back and join the Navy. So we flipped the coin, and it was tails. So we turned around, came back home, and joined the Navy.
And you came back, and then you went into some kind of basic training, I take it, before you went to
yes,
Pearl Harbor and
No. You had to go to Great Lakes first.
Great Lakes.
When I
Okay.
joined it in those years. You didn't sign up for 4. You had to sign up for 6 or none.
Wow.
That's the way it
So that's almost like signing a good part of your youth away, right there,
Well,
when you
this
do
is
that.
true. This is true. But on the other hand, the man who had to sign for me a little bit that knew me, he said, Bud, you're going to sign up for 6 years, and when you're 19 years old, you can
Right.
do anything. And I told him, believe it or not, Doc, I can just do that standing on my head.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the attitude you have when you're 19 years old.
Well, that's right. And you know everything when you're 19.
That's right.
You know absolutely everything when
See,
you're
so,
19.
no problem at all, see?
But going back to that time period in our history, and now it was 1940, we were not yet in the war, this country, but there was a war going on.
Yes.
Did that enter your mind at all?
Well, the reason we decided to go back and join the Navy, they were just starting to call in people, call them in.
Okay.
And so as it turned out, we decided we didn't want them to call us in and say we had to go where they wanted us to. We would rather go where we wanted to go. So that's why we joined the Navy.
Okay. Now, can we talk some about that December 7th, 1941, that morning when Pearl Harbor
Yes.
was bombed? What was it like? I mean, you had no idea this was going to happen, of course. So how did you find out that you were being bombed?
Okay, it was about 5 minutes to 8, and I was about ready to. I came up and was all dressed to go to church.
Okay.
And so we were going to get the motor launched in about 10 minutes or so. And so about that time, we saw one of the head men, in other words, a chief in our department, and we were on up where we could see the whole view of the Pearl Harbor itself, because that's where our area was on the ship at that time. So as it turned out, he says, boy, somebody's going to catch hell, because we seen a explosion go over on Fort Island.
And that was the bombing, the early bombing? Or
It wasn't bombing.
It was.
But we thought that at the first
It was an explosion.
Well, we thought that it was. They would practice once in a while with like powder.
Okay.
And when they drop it, why it would go mushroom, like a powder.
Sure.
In practice, and we realized that it was so. This chief says somebody's going to catch hell for making that mistake.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then the plane turned its wing up and started going away. That dropped the first bombs there on the Fort Island.
So you saw that happening.
And he saw the emblem on the Rising Sun on the thing, and he says, "We're being attacked."
And you knew it was the Japanese right away?
Japanese right off the bat.
Yeah.
So then, of course, that's the way it went.
Wow. So what's going through your mind at that time, or do you even have a chance to think, or you just?
Well, no. They just make the general alarm, and you go to your battle station. My battle station happened to be on top side for damage control,
Okay.
and so I had a bird's eye view of the entire thing for the
Wow.
entire works.
Wow.